Welcome back to the Lost in Stupidity podcast. I'm your host, Turner the Burner. I'm joined by one Bailee, Joe Hickman.
Here we be for another exciting episode of being in the stupidity class.
And we are missing Chris the Boz Bozeman. I'm driving the bus today, and Will Hillbilly Howard is out as well. They're dealing with some family issues. And we have a special guest who will be on an interview next episode, and that is Mr. Elliot Welch. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm here.
Be sure and tune in for that. We're going to talk about a recent little tree stand accident he had. There's a little tease, but...
Tried to fly.
Yeah, hey, tried to fly.
I believe I can fly.
One out of 10. That's what
on the first attempt.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's falling with style.
He's more of a man than I am. I'll tell you that. He is more of a man than I am.
But today... we've got some spooky stories from Mississippi because at the time of this recording, we don't know what you believe. We don't know if you celebrate All Hallows Eve or not. Not going to get into that today. Not going to debate about Halloween. We are, however, going to talk about some spooky stories from our home state of Mississippi. Ooh. Yeah, that's why we have the lights nice and dim in here, and your hat's glowing, and yours is glowing a bit under the light.
Yeah. This reminds you of that laser tag phase.
Yes.
Where, from 8 to 14 years old. Heck, I'd go right now if y'all want to play laser tag. What am I talking about? I'd still go right now.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. If it wouldn't be weird for...
I'd be down.
If it wouldn't be weird for a couple of 30-something-year-old men to be playing laser tag, like, I'm down.
This is the time when we should play laser tag.
Right.
We know what to do.
Get out of the way, kid. Brace yourself.
Clothesline a little kid. Shoot them when they're on the ground.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's awful. Forgive us. Anyway, spooky stories. Back to the topic at hand.
So we've got a couple of weird ones, that come from our home state of Mississippi. So, Bailee, do you want to...
Yeah, sure.
The one I've got, I kind of went down a rabbit hole. It's a little longer.
Sure.
Bailee,
sure.
walk us... Let me do my Wes Germer. Bailee, if you will, walk us into what happened.
All right. So let me ask you, what do you want to start with? Do you want spooky coast or spooky delta?
Let's start with the coast. Let's save the Let's save the delta.
Let's start with the coast. All right. So
you never know about them coast people.
You never know about coasties, as we call them. We love our coasties. They're super sweet people. All right. So let me get my show notes pulled up right here. I know I am extremely prepared. Might be on a place called Lost in Stupidity. That's where we can be this prepared. Anyways, guys, so this is the tale or the legend or the myth, whatever you want to call it, of the Isle of Caprice. However you say that, because I may not.
Is it Isle of Capri? Like after this the casino was
Capri?
No. But there was a casino on the coast. It was called that, wasn't it? The Isle of Capri, or did I make that up?
I don't know which one came first. But I'll give you a definition of Capri: a sudden and unaccountable change of mood or behavior. Ooh. So apparently, as legend goes. And I'll probably butcher this, but we'll have a good time. And make
so to be clear, is it Capri or Caprice?
Yes.
Because the Isle of Capri, well, I guess after Katrina, it'd be the pile of debris, not the Isle of Capri. I'm sorry.
Well, it didn't make it.
Too soon.
So apparently, according to some geologists, and we're not real sure because, however you want to pan that out as a geologist, we have this island, and it's originally called Dog Island.
Okay.
And it is between, if I remember right, Ship Island. For the locals down there, they'll all probably correct me. But anyways, it's out there around Ship Island.
It's somewhere out there.
It's somewhere out there off of the coast of Biloxi.
Is it related to Cat Island? Is that what it's called, Dog?
There you go. It might be because we have Cat Island out there.
Yeah, we're very creative in Mississippi.
We're very creative.
All right, yeah.
Anyways, saw a dog out there. We figured we'd call it Dog Island. Anyways, so in the 1920s, the Roaring 20s, they build a whole... kind of an amusement park fair, just, party place out there on Dog Island. So 1925 and moving forward, they did say in the story, and I got this from some local newspapers here, they said that they didn't serve alcohol out there, but it was kind of known, especially being, right around Prohibition, right after Prohibition, late 20s into the 30s, BOYB, bring your own booze. So they said, folks, go out there. There would be floating barges out there selling alcohol. It kind of just turned debaucherous. and there was partying out there.
Gulf
hanging
Shores.
out. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. But it was, they were having a good old time, as they say. And as the legend goes, a storm kicks up. And it kicks up rather quick, and nobody decides to leave. And they all thought that it would pass by, which sometimes happens, when you're on the coast. You get storms, and they're gone in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So the legend goes that, I believe it's in the late 30s, or mid to late 30s, that this storm kicks up. And it decimates the island. Just absolutely decimates it. They said that, according to the accounts of people from Biloxi, they took boats out there to go check on everybody. When they got out there was nothing but broken buildings and bodies.
Holy crap.
On top of that, the island sank. The island is not there today. The whole island. They can see it geologically, like where it was. But from whatever hoodoo, voodoo magic and stuff, that island actually sank. And according to legend, it happened at the same time as the storm, and everybody out there died.
And because I was recently on the coast for a big car show, and me and a family member were talking about this. It come up, and apparently there's a big, like a drainage pipe or a well. There's something out there you can still see where the island was.
Well, they say that if you go out there in the middle of the night, whether you're out there, trying to get fishing, or whether you're out there trying to, stab some old flatfish, as they say, you go out there, they said, in the middle of the night, you can still hear partying and laughter.
Oh, no.
And joy.
Oh, no.
And they said if you stay long enough, it'll turn to screams.
I'm out.
Dang.
I'm out.
Yep, I'm out. Nope.
Turn their bells.
So that is one spooky tale.
That's
of
crazy.
The sinking island, the Isle of Capri. So look that one up if you have a good.
So now
fun.
it's an Isle of Debris as well.
Yeah, it's
too soon. I'm sorry.
Have they ever gone back down there to look for stuff?
I think a bunch of people, because I've grown up hearing about this, and a bunch of people have gone out there and just because from what I understand from reading about it, you can go out there where it was and wade out there into it. It's not, but the island itself is not there anymore.
But it's not like you said you could wade, so it's not that deep.
It's not
in
super
that area.
deep. No. But also, I'm sure there's not much left.
It's in that area too. I don't remember. I did a video on the YouTube channel. That's in that same kind of area too as the Firewater Ghost.
Yeah.
So
same area. Some sketchy stuff.
Some strange things going on out there.
That's also where Margaritaville is. So this
might
explain. Right. Jimmy Buffett might have been onto something. As Rooster Cogburn said, they like to pull a cork down there. But anyway, so the second one that I have comes to you courtesy of. This is actually on their city's website. And the legend is made popular by the famous author Willie Morris and his book Good Old Boy, published in 1971. But this is the legend of the Witch of Yazoo.
Here we go.
Yazoo City?
Yazoo City.
Yeah, yep. So he's like, no, I don't want to hear this.
I don't need to hear this one.
I may frequent that area.
So for those of you who don't know, Yazoo City, sits in, obviously, Yazoo County. And it is considered by a lot to be the entryway to the Delta. And there are a lot of strange things.
Or the armpit of the state. I'm sorry.
That's so mean.
I'm sorry.
A lot of good things come out of the Delta, the home of the blues. But there were a lot of scary, sketchy things that come out of the Delta. One is the legend, and we're going to do kind of a rough overview. If you want to hear more in depth, go read the book Good Old Boy by Willie Morris, or you can look up the story. But we're going to do a little overview of it, is the Witch of Yazoo, or as some locals call her, what do they call her? The Chain Lady.
Oh, nope. I don't like where this is going.
So apparently in the 1880s, they started seeing, and it kind of culminates
before Master Storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
You just made me think of something of a true story that I have.
Mm-mm.
This was I did not plan this today. Remind me, you said the Chain Lady. Remind me when you finish, y'all, to tell you about the Chain Man.
Oh, okay. Woo.
Go ahead. Sorry.
A lot of chains going on here. It's going to get scary. So 1884.
This is the part where Will Howard make a 50 Shades of Grey joke.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We miss you, Will Billy. Anyways.
I'm sorry. Lord, forgive me.
Family friendly turn.
I'm sorry. I'm taking up the slack for Will and Chris. It's just,
I know.
it's a dangerous line. You know, you fly too close to the fire.
There
you
you go, Icarus. He flew too close to the sun. Anyway, so the chain lady, apparently in the 1880s, fishermen off the Yazoo River started going missing. So much so that the sheriff of Yazoo County got wind of it and started doing some investigating. So according to him, there was a woman out there, and that they don't, at least in the short version of the story, we're not really told who she is, but it's an old woman that lived on the Yazoo River. And he caught her catching these fishermen, luring them in there and torturing them to death. And they could hear the screams coming out of...
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
I've been on the Yazoo.
Yeah. Coming out...
Doesn't that make it that much more terrifying?
Yeah, next
Yes,
time
it
we
does.
go catfishing.
You're right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
hearing the screams along the Yazoo River, well, the sheriff...
Because Yazoo River, for those who don't know, is creepy as all get out
man.
by itself.
by itself.
Yeah.
So think about being out there and hearing screams and horrors of men being tortured to death.
in the 80s.
Yeah, in the 1880s.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
And
no
so-
way. I'm out.
They say that the sheriff gets wind of it and finally pins down where she's going to be, and he starts to chase her. And he chases her into a swamp. And she takes off running, and apparently the old lady could get it. She could just take off running. And she gets down in the swamp before he can get to her, and she gets caught in a bog. And she starts going under the bog. And he can't get close enough to her to pull her out. So she, as she's being swallowed up by the swamp, yells out that she is cursing him and the town of Yazoo, Mississippi, and that she'll return in 20 years and kill people. Well, nobody really thought about it. She gets ate by the bog. Now, you know, they apparently fish her out eventually. They get a boat and come back and fish her out, and they bury her. And to take precautionary measures, they bury her in Glenwood, Mississippi, and they put chains across her grave.
Mm.
And 20 years later, in 1904, there is a fire that comes through Yazoo, Mississippi. I'm going to tell you the numbers. The fire burned 200 residences and nearly every business in Yazoo City. 324 buildings in total.
So the whole city caught on fire,
Basically the entire city. So the whole city is just destroyed. And there's all kinds of theories of why it happened, where it happened. But according to witnesses that day, and they said it was not a windy day, but the fire was leaping, not burning anything, from business to business.
Did y'all just have a chill run down your spine? And just go, well, it said the ghost of Lucius Clay gets up and he walks around.
I was thinking Marie Laveau.
Oh, yeah, that's probably more accurate.
Another man done gone.
A lot of weird, ungodly things going on down there.
Everybody gives Louisiana enough credit for being creepy. Mississippi's pretty creepy, too.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the fire burns everything down, and according to some witnesses, they go back to Glenwood, Mississippi, and
don't tell me this.
they go check.
No.
Check the grave, and the two large chains are broken.
I'm out.
Across their grave.
Well, I'm not going back to Delta.
Nope. We're done here.
Nope, I'm all done. So there's just some creepy stuff from the Delta. You can still go see the witch's grave in
of
Glenwood.
course you can.
You know,
Because some sick person will go.
So we'll cover the debunking here real quick. Everybody says, look, this got real popular after the fire.
Of course it did.
So,
Well,
but
it's kind of like Mothman, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, what was it? There was like 3 or 4 accounts before the book was wrote, and then after the book was written.
Yeah, there's a pile.
There
of
was like
accounts.
50.
Exactly. So who knows if this really happened or not? And also, I believe in Jesus Christ and that He is sovereign.
Absolutely.
So,
Amen.
I'm not worried about that. But it does make for a good spooky campfire.
It does
story.
make a good story. Now, I
On to the next.
told you that story to tell you this story. This one's true. And I'm trying to remember. I was trying to think while you were telling me that. So, and it wasn't nothing nefarious. It just was spooky. My father, and I always lead off with this joke anytime I speak or do something. I'm from Buck Creek, Mississippi, and my father's from Possum Bend, Alabama. True story. And so my father being from a small rural area of Alabama known as Wilcox County, when he was a kid, there was a man, and I believe he was an African-American man, but there was this old man, and obviously he must have had something wrong with him. This would have been back, my dad was a kid, so late 70s.
Yeah.
And he would walk, didn't have a car, didn't have any family, and you never knew where he would turn up. He would walk for miles and miles. But
this old man.
This old man. People would see him everywhere, periodically. That's not the creepy part. He always had a cape, a top hat, and he had these ferocious dogs on chains.
Oh, God.
That's why you said the chains reminded me. And my dad, he's like, yeah, I remember you'd hear them chains.
You'd hear him rattling when he's coming.
That's how you knew he was coming. You'd hear them chains. And,
no.
And, really don't know anything else about him other than, like, he would pop up anywhere. He might be out in the woods somewhere or in the middle of town just
wandering around with his dogs.
And just scary, the nightmare fuel. And I think it was one of my dad's friends that found him. But don't know if he had a heat stroke or heart attack or what, but they found him sitting like against a tree, head down like this. And that's where they found him dead one day out in the middle of the woods. I don't know if he had a heart attack or what, but yeah, true story.
Died doing what he loved, being
creepy. Where
creepy.
was his dogs?
Don't know.
So they're gone.
Don't know.
Ooh.
There was another true story around Wilcox County. It was my grandparents and my dad and two uncles. And we've talked about some of this stuff. I think it could have been military. There's no telling. But again, late 70s. And they were driving, I don't know, somewhere out there in the middle of nowhere. And they saw a UFO. And as my dad describes it, he said it looked like seven red lights in a circle, slowly spinning around as this thing moved. And it followed, they drove down the highway and saw it for,
There's some experimental army guy
You're
going,
right.
hey, we're going to freak these rednecks out.
and then they, of course, it sits there and does that a while, and then it's, poof, and it's gone. Just vanishes.
I'll tell you one on that one. Here's another true story for you. This was my family friend of ours, Rufus Sistrunk.
Mr. Rufus, rest in peace.
Rufus, God bless him. He was a heck of a man. Was in the National Guard in the 70s. Just a heck of a man. He's a local legend around. A town south of here he called Foggy Bottom because everybody was in a fog. He and my grandfather had got together and they had gone and bought a bucket truck. And they bought this, same kind of time frame, late 70s, early 80s. Well, they went and bought it in Atlanta. And so they had, 7-8 hours to come back. Again, this is before cell phones and all that. Well, they were driving back, run out of gas or run out of diesel. And so they're, in the backwoods.
Ain't no gas.
Ain't no gas in it. They're in the backwoods of Alabama somewhere. And, there hasn't been a car for an hour. Yeah. And it's the middle of the night. And so they got the bright idea. Rufus, because the hydraulics still worked on it. It was on a little gas motor for the hydraulics for the bucket truck. Rufus was going to raise the bucket truck as high as he could raise it, and it had a spotlight on it. And the first car to come down, they were going to drop a spotlight on it. Well, my grandfather, who was just a interesting fella in and of himself, one of those folks that, they broke the mold when they had him. He decides, again, no cell phones, no way of stopping folks. He's going to lay down in the middle of the highway. Just lay down.
That's a good idea.
Whatever car comes, it better stop because, he'll be in the middle of the highway. So he just lays down. The way Rufus told it, he said, well, your grandfather's laying down. I'm in the bucket truck. There's no lights on the bucket truck right now. But he said that a car starts easing up. He said it was going pretty fast, but he said there's a long trail. It slowed down. He said it got to about 50 yards away. It got to where it could see your grandfather in the headlights. He said, and it stops. He said, so I didn't know, I just cut the light on. And he
dirt.
said, he said, I cut the light on us the same time as your grandfather starts standing up. And he said, when the car had started coming up, they could hear fiddle music coming out of the car.
Oh, goodness.
Well, he starts walking over to it, and the car starts backing away.
Yeah, I bet he did.
And he said he finally got him to stop. He said there were two old boys in there. One had a fiddle, and the other one that was driving had a jug. And they were having a really good time on a Saturday night until they saw us. And he said they were so scared because they thought that was a UFO and it was abducting my grandfather. Because when the light cut on in that bucket truck, he was standing up. And so they finally got him to calm down and give them a ride to the filling station, and they got some diesel. And then they made it back to South Mississippi.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's an awesome story.
Oh. So.
But let's get back to the creepy stuff.
Let's get back to
enough lighthearted tomfoolery.
Right. Well, yeah. So this next account, this is kind of a famous story from Mississippi, kind of like the Witch of Yazoo. And it comes from a place called Chatawa. Now, Chatawa is over there towards the state line. It's near the Homachita National Forest, the Tangipahoa River, that area, Amite County, Mississippi, where all my wife's folks are from. Shout out. So, Chatawa has become known for the Chatawa Monster. So, how this gets started?
It's a Bigfoot.
Don't get ahead of me. That's the thing. A lot of it lines up with what we would call a Bigfoot story, but there's a couple of just strange stories from that part of the world, like the what did they call it? It has a weird name, like the Tanny Fate, I think's what he called it. Something, and the old man described it as a creature that had spots like a leopard, it walked like a big cat, had the tail of a rattlesnake, and its jaws was so big that it swallowed a coon dog whole. You have just weird stuff. There's a couple of stories about gnomes and just all sorts of weird
skinwalkers.
Yeah, all sorts of bleepers, we would say. But anyway, the first story, it starts from, and we really don't know when, where, the details are lost to time, but there was a train derailment, and this circus train jumped the tracks, bad wreck, and most of the animals were killed. Now, as the story goes, the prize of the exhibit, or of the circus rather, was what they were calling the Ape Man. And now where he had come from, what he was it just a gorilla? No one knows. But the circus called it the Ape Man, half ape, and he was incredibly aggressive. The cage was massive. Even you could see in the wreck, just massive iron bars. And so a lot of the animals and possibly even some circus freaks got killed in the wreck. But the cage of the Ape Man was just kind of cracked open, and he was gone. So after that, we have what would begin, this was probably, no one really knows. It could have been early as the 1920s. It could have been late as the 1950s. We don't know. But then near there is a place called St. Mary of the Pines, which was a nunnery. It's a Catholic school for nuns. And it would later be turned
in South Mississippi?
In South Mississippi.
Wow.
I know.
You learn something new every day?
Southwest Mississippi.
Southwest Mississippi, okay.
Really close. Okay. See, really close to Louisiana.
That makes more sense.
That makes more sense.
Sorry, I had my
you had your Will Howard moment.
Will Howard
you
moment.
Did.
Had to offend some religions. No, I love Catholic folks. They're sweet folks, wonderful folks. Just surprises you. You don't always see that.
You're right. Well, it's, again, right there on that Louisiana line.
Right there on that Louisiana line.
So, anyway, and again, this is, I forget, this is probably 1950s, I guess. But this nunnery would actually be turned into like an old folks' home for nuns later on. And that's an important detail. So, as the story goes, sometime after the train wreck, some young... Well, you good over there?
What is that?
Caught him in a yawn.
I had a big old yawn.
It's like, oh no, he done got.
My bad.
We talking all this stuff in here, and he. Anyway, so the young girls are in the school or whatnot, and one of them is in class, and she looks out the window, and she gets up and walks to the window and starts like, hey, everybody look. Every girl in the class, like, hey, what in the world is this? And out in the edge of the field, in the wood line, is what they described as this giant black figure swinging from tree to tree. And they all freak out, and apparently a teacher sees it. And a town-wide search, it was a big enough deal that the city of Chatawa actually sent out a search party and shook the bushes to try and find whatever this was, to no avail. Now, the reason that what I brought up earlier about it being turned into like an old folks' home or retirement home for nuns is because
they got to go somewhere.
Well, not just that. Funny.
How do you solve a problem?
Thank you, Will Howard. That's like my thank you, Dave. Thank you, Will. No, because it was a popular, and it was kind of known that the older girls would play pranks on the incoming, like a freshman,
Yeah,
you'd have senior classmen playing pranks on
Rite of
freshmen.
passage. If you've been there long enough, you got to make fun of the newbies.
Exactly. Problem is, when they changed it over and it went from strictly young girls to strictly retirement age people, the sightings continued.
No. This is no longer like playing pranks for, teenagers. This is old people that are not swinging from trees.
So that leads us to
a gorilla-like figure out there.
So that leads us to 1977. Well, in the year 1977, a man named Obie Milton was out squirrel hunting. And anybody that's been in that part of the world, there's a lot of big woods in that area in the Homachita National Forest. And he says that he was out squirrel hunting, just no dogs or nothing, like old timers, just they go walk and sit a while.
Shaking vines.
There you go. And hadn't seen nothing all morning. And he finally sees a squirrel. And he shoots it, it falls 20, 30 feet out of the tree, plop. And he starts walking towards it, and he hears something, and he looks up, and standing in front of him is this 10-foot tall black beast, as he called it, kind of challenging him for that squirrel. He's, it's in between the two of them, and he slowly backs up and, gets out of there, and the creature takes the squirrel and is gone. So fast forward, that was 1977. Now we get up to 1980. A man named Jack Hayes. Now, this is the most interesting one because there's a shred of alleged proof. Jack Hayes was a local of Chatawa and a big man. Big, heavy set, size 14 boot.
He's a cornbread country boy.
Yes, he is. Big man. And he starts missing chickens. And we're not talking about he loses a chicken. He loses 5, 6, 7, 10 in a night. There was one night particular that 15 of his chickens went missing at once.
This is not a fox.
This is not a fox. And the night that 15 chickens went missing, in the sand near his chicken coop were footprints. And he got a bunch of people out there, and he cast the footprints. And it is to this day, if it is not a hoax, one of the most complete set of what is Bigfoot tracks, quote unquote, that's in existence. Now, what's interesting besides the detail of the tracks, like you can see the lines of the feet and pieces of hair, it looks so detailed. In the back part of the foot around the heel, there's a line that looks like a big scar. What'd Ron White say? I told you that story to tell you this story. About 6 months or so prior, there's an artesian well near where Jack lived, and he was down there getting water. And he run up on a man whose name is lost to time, but he was in his mid-80s. Old man, he's in his mid-80s. And he strikes up a conversation as he's getting water, and the old man proceeds to tell him that him and his son was out cutting some wood, and they had a double-bladed axe.
Mm-hmm.
And they were out cutting some trees down for something. I don't know if it was to make something or firewood, whatever. And they stuck that double-bladed axe in a stump in the ground. And where it set, if you wasn't paying attention, you wouldn't see it.
Hmm.
So they left it down there, went back to the house, and that night they heard what they called a gut-wrenching scream. Just something let out a horrible howl scream. Well, they waited till morning and went down there, and on the double-bladed axe, there was blood everywhere and a trail of blood leading from it like something had stepped on it and walked away.
Oh, gosh.
6 months later, these mysterious footprints that Jack Hayes cast has a very definite scar
Very prominent.
around the heel.
Oh, gosh.
Oh man.
So,
to quote Arnold Schwarzenegger, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
now, here's the problem. A lot of the legend has been written off to like the girls playing pranks. We can't find any real information about the train derailment. It's just kind of a story. No one knows where it came from. Now, in the year 1985, 5 years after this, there was a gentleman whose name escapes me. But they interviewed him, the Enterprise newspaper there, and asked him about the Chatawa Monster. And he said, yeah, I know him personally. We had 3 or 4 of them. And he claimed...
Oh, crap.
No. He claimed that him and 3 other members of the community went on a string of pranks, and I'm going to let y'all in on some other Southern culture. Do you know what a dumb bull is?
Not Pacific.
You do.
I know what this is, yeah.
So a dumb bull, and my grandfather talked about them and scaring folks with them.
That's who I learned it from, was your grandfather.
Yep. So basically, you take a hollow log or a number 3 wash tub, anything big that you could, like a drum.
55-gallon drum.
55-gallon drum. It can be anything as small as a Cool Whip container all the way up to a 55-gallon drum. And you stretch leather across of it like a bongo drum. And you poke a tiny hole in it that a piece of string can go through. And then you take rosin like you put on a fiddle bow and put on that string and work it in good. And you pull it slowly through that leather. And it makes the god-awfulest howling growl like a bull bellowing, lion roaring.
Dang.
This man claims that they had a couple of dumb bulls and had been pulling pranks. Now, he didn't say nothing about Jack Hayes' chickens 5 years earlier, and they asked Jack about it, and confront him like, hey, did you make up a story about the axe and whatever? And he said, well, I'll tell you this. He said, if somebody stole 28 chickens from me to pull a prank, that's kind of going a bit far.
Yeah. And
that was his quote.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's the common theme with all these stories.
Yeah.
What is the point of this prank?
Like, I get a prank.
Especially if there's no payoff. There's no, hey, I was doing that.
Yeah.
My uncle and the Mothman thing.
Yeah.
Why are you down here pranking some 3rd graders?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
That you didn't even know were there.
Yeah.
So, is it a story? Who knows? Now, we can get into another story here. There may be a more logical explanation, because there's some stories, that go with everything kind of gets blamed on the Chatawa Monster.
Yeah.
There was a couple of instances of calves going missing, and they would find them half-eaten and clawed up. And the more likely answer, and of course there's a story with this, is that they are victim of a panther attack. Mm-hmm. Now, before I can hear people
stir some people up in South Mississippi.
Yeah.
When I say panther, I'm referring to
What he means is
Florida panther, mountain lion, cougar, whatever you want to call it. I'm not referring to a color. I'm referring to a mountain lion. We call them panthers. I did not say black panther. I said, we do have those here. There's somebody I trust, and he's an avid outdoorsman who has seen one. We've had a couple sightings in Perry County. He's seen one.
My grandfather lost sheep in the 80s to what he said was a panther. Now, he said he never got to be up close. He said the closest he got was on a tractor about 100 yards away. So he couldn't tell if there was spotting or not. But he said it was black in color, and he lost dozens of sheep to this.
Well, and I never saw it, but I had one. It's been, I was probably 12, 13 years old. I heard one out from our property.
Scream.
Yeah. one scream. And if you've ever heard one scream in person, there is no doubt, there is no, hey, I wonder what that was. No, you know right that second, nope, I know exactly what that is.
You keep up with stuff going on and outdoor stuff. Have you seen that they have now seen they've crossed over into Texas, that they have seen
the jaguar.
The jaguar is coming back, which was its natural roaming
It was
area before the
jaguar.
Yes,
before the cattle barons shot them all in the late 1800s and early 1900s. They roamed all the way up into New Mexico, Texas, California, and now they've been spotted. The jaguar's coming back. They found it in Texas.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Now we're talking, 200 years ago, but yes, that used to be its natural range on into Texas,
but it's
California.
and because they're still native in Mexico, and I have a coworker who's originally from Mexico. His family still has a cattle ranch, and about 8 hours south of the border, and it was a legitimate problem to losing cattle to jaguar.
Dang.
So that opened up a whole nother can of worms. Like look.
Everybody's got opinions.
Look, we have, how do I say this? We have Florida panthers were a sickly subspecies of mountain lion, correct? Puma, whatever you call them. They actually brought mountain lions down and bred them with
crossbred them,
Mr. Biologist. So now the line between Florida panther and mountain lion is so thin it's not even there. So whatever you want to call it. We have big cats native to the southeast.
Yes.
Now, I'm not getting into the color thing, but whenever you say that, people go, there's no such thing as black panthers. Now, I didn't say anything about black panthers. I said about, just a panther. Well, there's no such thing as black panthers.
Remember biologically, if the line between species is whether or not they can, co-populate, and whether or not the offspring is then viable to produce more offspring.
Yeah.
That's where you get a mule from.
Yeah, right.
You can get a mule from a donkey and a horse, but the mule can't have any more kids.
Yeah.
All right. So you have subspecies where things are different, but if they can breed together and create a viable offspring, you were talking about a very closely related critter. So I don't care if it's mountain lions and panthers or whatever you want to call it. They're pretty dang close. And as we have talked about, everybody likes to look at pictures and say, okay, well, that's what that looks like. But when you talk about the snakes.
Yes.
And if you find this snake in this area, boy, he looks awful different. I found one the other day, a three-toed, it was either a three-toed box turtle or a Gulf box turtle. I'm still trying to figure it out because I got videos of them for my little YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But they both lived all their life in pine straw.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not a speck on him. Looks like a box turtle, but he's a box turtle.
Yep.
So you can't go off of, well, this is what it looks like. It has to be this.
Well, and now we've crossed over into out of spooky land, but
sorry.
No. It's something
about critters.
No, it's something I want to say on the podcast. Like, and look, I'm not a biologist, but people get all up in arms of like, well, a Florida panther, mountain lion could never be black. Okay, why? We have black hogs. We have brown hogs. We have speckled hogs. We have no one's ever been able to walk that out for me. Well, that would be a melanistic.
Things do funny things.
Well, again, could there not be several darker panthers or mountain lions that all breed? And I'm not saying it's soot black, but it's significant. I mean, we see that in deer. There's parts of Alabama where the deer are significantly darker in color, that chocolate horn.
Yeah.
And again, if it's in the middle of the night and you're a settler,
it looks black to you.
Guess what? It looks black to you.
It looks a lot black.
Well, and here's the thing to remember. I always like talking about this since we'll go back spooky in a second.
Yeah, right.
Remember, there is no laws in biology. So, physics, even in chemistry, you have the laws of thermodynamics, the laws of physics, whatever, entropy, you have all these laws, quote unquote, in science.
Yeah.
In biology, the closest thing they have is the theory of the cell. The theory of the cell states that any cell has to be divided from another cell. A cell can't come from nothing.
Yeah.
And that is the closest. I remember my professor saying that is the closest you will ever get biology to come to having a law is cell theory.
That's crazy.
Because things change.
Yeah.
And we didn't think this thing was this way, and now it's this way, and it changes and changes and changes. And he said biologists are scared to make laws because we know we'll have to rewrite them. He said the closest we'll come to is the theory of the cell. But I always loved that because this is what we think it is until we find out something new.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're not dealing with something on paper. You're not dealing with cosmic things that you can, predict with mathematical certainty.
Sure.
You're dealing with living creatures. And that's the crazy thing about living creatures is they change, they adapt, they move. They're not sedentary. We had not seen a live picture, video, or anything of the giant squid until 2007.
Yep.
Until 2007. That is less than 20 years ago. We knew they existed because they'd washed up dead. We had not seen one alive. Yeah. I saw on Instagram the other day, it was a really cool picture.
That was,
of a sperm whale with one in his mouth, which we knew they ate them, but we had never seen it. And this
it's such a rarity.
Such a rarity. And he is swimming straight up and has a 9, 10, 12-foot giant squid hanging out of his mouth. We've never seen that. That's fascinating. You just don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know, and we like to pretend we know everything about us. There are still some things we just don't understand.
To quote old Will Billy, there's something about this old dirt.
There's something about this old dirt. But, well, what do you think, Elliot? What do you think about this? You going to be a little apprehensive going to hunt anywhere in the Delta now?
Oh, probably 100%. I remember the one time, I think we were going on a duck hunt, and it was a pretty long drive, and it was me, Sam, and my brother Jackson, and he had the great idea to put on Bigfoot stories.
Sasquatch Chronicles, yeah.
And I'm still working on my PTSD from that. So.
Jackson!
Yeah.
Hey, love me some Wes Germer. It is, look, when about late August, Sasquatch Chronicles does not play in my headphones until March. Sasquatch Chronicles, Missing 411 with David Politis, anything along
Haunted Cosmos.
Haunted Cosmos. What's the other one?
I love all these programs, but if we got to be in the woods camping or hunting, nope,
can't do it.
Can't do it.
What was the Mr. Ballin? He's out too. All of them.
Only VeggieTales. God,
Only VeggieTales.
Boogeyman is bigger than Godzilla.
Oh, the monsters on TV. No. And cut. Then it's a working progress.
It's a working progress. No, I love these kind of stories, and again, ultimately they're stories. And there's always a hint of truth to all of them.
Yeah.
Man, that one weirds me out because it very well could have been a gorilla. You could have had a gorilla living out there.
See, the most likely thing is there was just a gorilla got loose.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the other things is either a panther got loose from a train wreck or it was just a native panther.
Yeah, still there.
Yeah.
I mean, there was what was it? I was talking to you about this the other day, about the badger.
Yes.
There was a certain type of badger that they found, that they took pictures of in California. It was the first time they'd have pictures of it, video evidence of it in 100 years.
Yeah. Rogan was talking about that
Nobody had seen
way
it
back.
For 100 years.
Yes.
So you're talking about sometimes large fauna, even with all the technology we have, goes unseen.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And again, I'm not advocating for Bigfoot. That's not what I'm doing. But just the idea, we think, okay, put it toward in our area, a panther, Florida panther, whatever you call it. You would think, oh well, so many people hunt down here, and so many people have game cameras. Obviously, there should be more pictures of it. We just went 100 years without having photographic evidence of this badger.
Yeah. Well, like old Forrest Galante says, he's got a suspicion that he could still find the giant sloth. He thinks there's, a mountain range where it's so untouched. Yeah. There's just not people there. In theory, the giant sloth. Yeah. Because, if
that's so cool.
If it doesn't, go in a large enough area that it would get out.
And nobody goes into that area.
And nobody goes into
then
it.
Then it could be, could be possible.
Or there could be giant spiders in the content.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. I'm so
going back to that episode.
It's my retirement gig. We're going to retire. I told my wife we're retiring. All the children will be just fine. And I'm headed to Congo, and we're going to find the giant spiders.
I'm going with you. We've been talking about this how long now? 15 years?
15 years. We're going to go find the giant spiders.
Then I'm going full Theodore Roosevelt, and I'm having him stuffed and sent back.
That's the preservation process. That's actually, that would be wild, wouldn't it? Have a giant stuffed spider. That'd be insane. But I mean, and I think it's fascinating. I think it's really cool. And man, these spooky stories. Go tell a spooky story around a campfire. Go freak out your nieces and nephews.
Right.
It's a good time.
and we'll wrap up here in a second. But do you ever stop and wonder? The human mind is both a beautiful and scary thing.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Depending on who it's being controlled by.
For
Here's
sure.
our VeggieTales episode. Our VeggieTales lesson.
For
But
sure.
like what?
Slash South Park.
Yeah. Like how do you come up with some of this stuff? Because some of it is just bunk. Some of it is just completely made up. Like the one the guy talking about. It had spots like a leopard and a rattlesnake tail, and I mean that's bunk. Some old man made that up. But how do you even? Oh, there was one again, and the Chatawa Monster is a catch-all. There was one account of a guy. He described it as a giant two-headed snake.
Oh gosh.
And again, complete hogwash.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, how did you even come up with that?
I mean, I don't know. You could have like a baby get like a twin, an egg get a twin or something like that.
Yeah.
Have a two-headed snake or something.
Yeah.
Well, this I left out this part. The two-headed giant two-headed snake had two heads like a gorilla.
Oh, well, yeah,
that's a little far fetched.
let's get more out there.
Boy,
Flying high again.
that's a quote the late Ozzy Osbourne. The old moonshine's powerful in that.
Ain't it though?
Hey, but I mean, what is it? An hour south of there, you get into Louisiana, you have the Honey Island Swamp Monster.
Oh, there ain't no telling what's in that place.
I mean, yeah, the Honey Island Swamp Monster.
Down in Louisiana where the black trees grow.
Yeah, what's old? Is it our buddy that's got the pictures of from there? We need to get him on from the who we went alligator hunting with.
Oh, Jacob Martinez.
Jacob, yeah, we need to get with
he
him.
has a terrifying Bigfoot account too.
Yeah, and the pictures from
And the picture
Jacob,
of
the
ghost.
big guy?
Yes.
I didn't know he had that.
He's
a funny guy.
He is. But see, that's me and Bailee say this all the time. Everybody's got a story.
As soon as
you break the ice,
right? As soon as you think, man, everybody's gonna think I'm crazy for this, and you tell that story, somebody goes, "Oh no, I'll tell you what happened to me." I mean, it's
Jacob tells a story of I don't understand. We've went into Bigfoot before. We've talked about. I think some of it is just spiritual deception. Why does everybody have the same story? Why do they say, these weird details like the orange jaundice looking eyes, the yellowish looking eyes?
Yeah.
Jacob says, they're driving down, I forgot where it was. I need to have him on. But, sees a pair of eyes, and what stuck out is like a lot of people say in these Bigfoot stories, those yellowish jaundice looking eyes. And he said he was like 10 feet tall. Yeah. And they drive by and what the heck? And they come back the next day and it looks like you've run a bulldozer through there. Whatever ran through the woods, broke limbs and snapped trees, cleared a path through there.
Which is Willbilly's encounter in Maine.
Yeah.
Willbilly was up, not to tell his story, he'll tell it next time he's on, I'm sure, but he was up in Maine on a shutdown and saw a figure on the edge of the woods. Turned the rental car back around to come back, and it's gone. And he said, limbs 9, 10.
He took a picture of again. That's where these weird stories about the tree breaks and whatnot.
Yeah,
there had not been a storm through there because there was no other tree touched in the area.
Yeah,
but he's got a picture of a tree that's about 6 inches in diameter, too big for a human to do, and it's broken 10 feet in the air. And it looks like a giant grabbed it and broke it and snapped it and left it hanging there. And no other tree in the area is damaged. He's got a picture of it. And it's
just weird, man.
I'm sure there may be a logical explanation, but it just makes no sense.
Yeah, but it's more fun to think it's Bigfoot.
Oh, it's more fun. Absolutely.
Part of this, and that's the thing. I think some people get on this and they go, "Oh man, y'all don't really think that." I was like, have some fun.
This is obviously lighthearted.
Yeah.
When we get into the real scary stuff, you'll know it. This is all lighthearted. The truth is far more scary than fiction.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, people are much worse.
Yeah, people. The scariest thing on planet Earth are people.
Man, it's been a good Halloween episode, though.
It has, guys. Thank y'all for doing this. We're gonna wrap it up. Thank you, Elliot, for being a guest podcastee.
For sure.
Host. Is that the word I'm looking for? Host. Not hostess.
Not hostess.
They make good little
Debbie's.
Yeah, they're like knockoff little Debbie's.
Yeah. I like Hostess. Little Debbie's. Anything with sugar in it.
Thank y'all for listening. This has been the Lost in Stupidity podcast. I am Turner the Burner.
I'm Bailee.
I'm Elliot.
And thank you, and we will join you next time.
Woohoo!
Lightweight.
There it was.